Great.
Good?
Better than ever.
Okay. How'd your body do?
Good.
Good? All right, good. Excellent. Good job taking care of your body, babe.
I never let it get prickly.
That's good. Okay. Well, today I'd like to start out with a story about one of my former clients, Sunny, who I introduced to seated meditation. And he'd done a lot of spiritual work, but he'd never sat in stillness and silence. And when he would sit in stillness and silence, he noticed he could really connect to his body. He could really drop in and find that place where he could watch his thoughts and notice that he wasn't his thoughts. He could witness them, but still follow his breath, and his thoughts would just happen. And he would be in this great place when he would be sitting on the cushion, and in his words, he would get up and he would suit up to go to work or go do things, and it would be like he would leave it on the cushion, and then he would go back into his head and be operating from this place of ego and being driven by his mind, being driven by fear. And so I offered to him, I said, have you ever thought about, and to use his words, is to suit up first and then sit on the pillow and then not take the suit off when you get up off the cushion and stay suited up the rest of the day, so that your whole day is your seated practice of meditation. And for him, that was like, you can do that? You can actually do this when you go to work, and you can do this when you do the dishes. You can do this when you interact with your significant other. It's like that. This is why we do the practice, is not to be in a blissful space on a pillow and then go out and off the pillow and be back into our thinking and driven by our thinking. It's how do we show up and be in relationship with others, relationship with your own body, and your work and legacy work in my methodology of work legacy, your relationships, your spiritual, and your body. Can you take all those and come from this place of seated meditation, having your mind do its thing, and you choose to still be coming from this place of stillness and silence when you're doing the dishes, when you're making the bed. I know for a long time that doing the dishes, I would resist doing the dishes. It wasn't something fun for me, and I grew up where it was very part of the practice to do dishes as a part of meditation. And I was like, yeah, I hate it. And it was like my dad would be like, polish the counters, and everything would be very in a way of Zen and temple style of doing things, very clean, very succinct. And as I grow older, I find myself going, oh, I actually like doing the dishes, because it's my opportunity to actually be in that space while I'm doing something. So the invitation again about this is the training to be sitting in daily practice. Every morning, if you take on sitting for 20 minutes, that's setting your tone to show up and be able to do that in all areas of your life. And my encouragement is to do it in all areas of your life. And you'll watch yourself go in and out. I don't want to go to the gym, and then it's like, oh, that's where I get to practice being in relationship with myself. I love that you brought up gardening, or like going outside and sweating. It's like that time is really sacred for me now, to go be in the garden. And I believe Samu is the Japanese name for working meditation. And you'd go out and do Samu, and we would do that a lot with my mom and dad. It would be go pick weeds. and do it as a meditation, And as a young child, I was like, this sucks. And now I'm like, I get to pick weeds, right? And you can find that joy of like that childlike wonderment of what it's like to be in movement and be in meditation and let your brain do its natural thing, let the thinking happen, and wow, I can be very present and be watching the bugs and paying attention to what's happening. Oh, look, I got bit by fire ants. Ouch. And it's not something that's going to wreck me, but I can recognize it and see it. So then being in relationship with people, that being when I go to the gym or when I go to in the sauna, that's a time for me that I can be playful and I can be very much present and practice. When I'm at the gym is like, who am I in relationship with? I choose not to wear headphones, and I talk to people all the time that wear headphones, and it's like, I want to be there and be present, and in relationship is more even important sometimes than I got to get my workout done. I'll take care of my body, but yet the relationships that I have in that gym I take as like I take this Sangha. And I treat everybody in it like I treat the Sangha. And so for everybody here is take the practice out and have Sangha with everybody. And in your work, and as a carpenter or a craftsman, if you're doing hardware for the day and like that, oh look, I get to do that hardware for the day as my practice. What a treat to have myself be able to do that, right? So Samu, working meditation, and this is our training ground to do that. And then take it out and then watch yourself. If you can, like for me is like one thing, like when I come into a space, I love that you bowed when you came in. Coming into a dojo, it's a very customary to bow when you come into the dojo and bow when you leave the dojo. And so like doing the dishes, can you bow when you do the dishes? And just even a head nod is that acknowledgement, of that. And then when you finish and it's all perfect and you're like, yeah, the counters are polished, it's not a spot, I swept the floors, and then thank you so much. To going to the Rotary Club and then walking up the stairs and walking in there and like, all right, here I go. I'm in the dojo within relationship, and sometimes it doesn't feel like we get that connection in that. And how do we still show up and do that from that place of Samu or working meditation? All right. So I'm excited to see how you take your practice out into the world, and if this encouragement to really bring your practice to life as a daily life practice, and the trainings in the morning. Sit every day, even if it's for a minute. Take that minute, take 3 deep breaths and start your day. For me, it's like, oh, it's a highlight. I got 20 minutes in today. Woohoo! And sometimes I'll relish, oh, I got an hour. Oh, wow. I woke up maybe when I get up at 4 and I got a full hour before me and Amber get together, I'll sit and meditate. And that's like, what a way to start the day. And I relish in that. And then me and her get some time together in the morning, and I get to be in that space with her. And I'm a different person when I get to be in that space beforehand and then be in relationship with her. So imagine your partners feeling this when you're in the morning, when you've taken that time, even before I talk to her. I'll get up, get out of bed, go meditate. Sometimes I'll go back in and cuddle, or I'll stay up and then she'll come out and we'll hot tub together. But I'm setting up so that I'm operating from that place. All right, so take this to your loved ones. Let's make that the priority for this week. And connect, whether it's on the phone, you're traveling right now, and your son, right? And have that connection with him like that. Lisa and Jen and Tony and Amber.
Who's that?
Yeah. Well, and you're doing a workshop this weekend, and how to have that the whole entire time, and you guys are doing it together and say, oh, okay, so there's my practice for the next, 4 days, right, from this moment forward, that I'm going to practice this like it's all Sangha. And you have a Sangha of 60 people coming from around the world to be in practice with. And I know the form that you're going to take them through is a Samu, is a meditation. I've been through it. And so I'm excited for you, on that, both of you. And I hold that. It's that reverence to it, and it has that side that you're bringing to it too. So, any questions? Okay. Thank you all for being here. I always like to say, so when we wrap up, I love giving hugs, and that we don't get into a lot of talking, and that we keep the energy that is here, and to take that out with you home, and to not necessarily get into political conversations, maybe watching TV or things that'll take your mind and kind of take you out of it. See if you can go a little longer, even if it's 5 minutes before you turn on the TV or something. See what that feels like. All right? Okay, great. Let's sit for our wrap up, and then if you can fluff your pillow up, it's like kneading it like a piece of dough so it's nice and fluffy, and dust your mat off, and I'll put everything away so you can leave it right where it's at. All right? Thank you, Sharon, for being here. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and sit.